Released on May 31st, 2025, Episode 9 of Butler Emerald Witch Arc, titled His Butler, Escaping, is a pivotal chapter in the 5th season of Cloverworks' adaptation of Yana Toboso's beloved manga. Set in the eerie werewolves' forest in Germany, this arc sees Seal Phantomhive and his demon butler, Sebastian Michaelis, unraveling a sinister chemical weapons plot disguised as a supernatural curse. This episode focuses on the Phantomhive household's daring escape from the Emerald Castle as Sieglinde Sullivan confronts her role in the village's dark secret. I was gripped by the promise of a thrilling climax to the arc's revelations, but could this episode weave its complex threads of loyalty, betrayal, and trauma into a cohesive and resonant narrative? Following Episode 8's shocking reveal that the werewolf curse is a cover for a chemical weapons operation led by Sieglinde's village, Episode 9 thrusts the Phantomhive crew into action. Seal, now partially recovered from his trauma-induced amnesia, devises a plan to flee the castle with Sieglinde, who grapples with her complicity in creating Sulin gas. Finian's strength and Tanaka's precision protect the group from pursuing villagers, while Sebastian orchestrates a diversion. A flashback to Wolfram's past as a soldier manipulated by the village elders deepens his bond with Sieglinde. The episode ends with the group escaping the forest, but a cryptic warning from Baron Diedrich about the Kaiser's involvement hints at larger conspiracies. Episode 9 propels the arcade toward its climax by resolving the immediate threat of the village's pursuit, while unveiling Wolfram's tragic backstory. The revelation that Sulin gas mirrors real-world sarin, a nerve agent, grounds the arc's supernatural facade in chilling reality, marking a significant shift from folklore to political intrigue. Seal's strategic decision to act as a decoy, despite his fragile state, is a turning point, signaling his return to the cunning watchdog. The episode effectively ties up the village conflict but introduces new questions about the Kaiser's role and Hebenuma Pharmaceuticals' connection, hinted at in the final scene. I think the pacing is uneven. While the escape sequence is brisk and thrilling, a lengthy recap at the start feels unnecessary, padding the runtime and slowing the momentum. Seal, Sebastian, Sieglinde, Wolfram, and Finian are central, with Tanaka and Snake in supporting roles. Seal's partial recovery, evident in his calculated decoy maneuver, reveals his resilience, though his lingering fear of Sebastian hints at unresolved trauma. Sebastian's calm orchestration of the escape, paired with his subtle concern for Seal, adds nuance to his demonic nature, though I wish his internal perspective was explored further. Sieglinde's realization that her ultimate spell was a tool of destruction shatters her naive worldview, marking significant growth, but I'm concerned her arc feels rushed. Wolfram's flashback, showing his coerced loyalty to the village, transforms him from a stoic butler to a tragic figure torn between duty and love for Sieglinde, a depth I really appreciate. Finian's protective ferocity and Tanaka's understated precision shine, but Snake's minimal role frustrates me. The characters' actions align with their arcs, though Sieglinde's shift feels abrupt. The episode delves into loyalty, manipulation, and the cost of innocence. Wolfram's bond with Sieglinde, likened to a wolf protecting a child from her wicked mother, explores the conflict between duty and personal morality. Seal's decision to trust Finian despite his own fear underscores loyalty's power to overcome trauma. The chemical weapons plot critiques the abuse of authority, with the village elders exploiting Sieglinde's genius for destruction. I really appreciate how the episode uses Wolfram's backstory to highlight the tragedy of blind obedience, though I'm against the heavy-handed recap, which dilutes the thematic focus. The narrative subtly questions whether innocence, like Sieglinde's, can survive in a world of deception, but I think it could push this critique further by addressing Seal's moral ambiguity. The episode enriches the Black Butler universe by grounding the werewolf's forest in a grim reality, an underground base developing chemical weapons tied to Hebenuma Pharmaceuticals. The mention of Sulin gas and its effects, distortion, and beast-like behavior adds a chilling layer to the world's supernatural veneer, hinting at a broader geopolitical conspiracy involving the Kaiser. The Emerald Castle's secret passages and torture implements reinforce the village's oppressive history, evoking 17th century witch hunts. I personally don't understand why the narrative doesn't clarify Hebenuma's role, but I anticipate it ties to the manga's Blue Revenge arc. The world feels increasingly complex, blending Victorian aesthetics with modern warfare. The dialogue is sharp and evocative, particularly Wolfram's pained confession to Sieglinde, "I was never meant to love you," which captures his inner conflict. Seal's terse command to Finian, "Protect her at all costs," is impactful, reflecting his returning authority. However, the recap's expository dialogue feels redundant, and some of Sieglinde's lines, like her repetitive cries of betrayal, border on melodramatic. The writing excels in blending action with emotional beats, like Finian's heartfelt speech about Seal's kindness, but I didn't like how the script rushes Sieglinde's moral awakening, making it feel unearned. Overall, the writing is strong but hampered by pacing issues and occasional cliches, Cloverworks delivers stunning animation, particularly in the escape sequence, where Finian's superhuman strength is rendered with fluid, dynamic motion. The character designs, faithful to Toboso's manga, shine in close-ups, like Sieglin's tearful realization, though I noticed minor inconsistencies in background villagers, who appear static. The episode evokes excitement, sadness, and unease. Finian's protective stand and Wolfram's tragic backstory stirred deep empathy, while Seal's decoy maneuver was thrilling, marking his return to form. The flashback to Wolfram's past as a manipulated soldier was a poignant highlight, though I was frustrated by the recap's intrusion, which dulled the emotional momentum. The episode leaves a lasting impression, prompting reflection on loyalty's cost and the manipulation of innocence. I also anticipate the Kaiser's involvement will escalate the stakes, keeping me invested in Seal's mission. The episode's core lesson is the tension between duty and personal morality. Wolfram's struggle to protect Sieglin despite his role in her imprisonment reflects the conflict of following orders versus following one's heart. Seal's choice to risk himself as a decoy suggests that true loyalty requires sacrifice, even amidst personal trauma. The narrative urges viewers to question blind obedience and the systems that exploit it, a timeless meditation on individual agency. Episode 9 of Black Butler, Emerald Witch Arc is a thrilling and emotional chapter, elevated by stunning animation, powerful performances, and a chilling expansion of the arc's conspiracy. Its strengths lie in Wolfram's tragic depth, Finian's heartfelt heroism, and the seamless blend of action and intrigue. However, I didn't like the unnecessary recap and rushed pacing of Sieglin's arc, which temper the emotional and narrative impact. The episode achieves its goal of advancing the escape while deepening the arc's themes, but its pacing flaws prevent it from reaching perfection. I think it's a strong entry in a compelling season, and I anticipate the final episodes will explore the Kaiser's role and Seal's trauma with greater nuance, solidifying this arc as a standout in the Black Butler saga.